Welcome to the third session of this morning's hospitality track. As a moderator of today's program, I'm very proud to invite to the stage Valentina Klerk from EHL Hospitality Business School, a researcher specializing in total hospitality experience, and Thomas Bumkes, a leading medical and health tourism advisor. They share a deep passion for tourism that nurtures both healthy bodies and minds. And today, they will share their vision with us, with you, together with two extraordinary guests. Enjoy the session. Valentina and Thomas, the floor is yours. And I'm very excited hearing more from you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session. I'm delighted to co-host it together with Thomas. We'll be talking about body and mind and transformative hospitality. Before we invite our panelists on stage with us, we would like to share just a few words. So in today's fast-paced world, tourists, travelers, they're not just seeking for destinations. They're seeking for moments of relaxation, balance, transformation, a sense of well-being. So, as hospitality experience creators, we have the opportunity to integrate well-being into the hospitality journey. But what is well-being and how do we do that? Research says that well-being is a multifaceted concept. It has two components to it, a cognitive one and an affective one. In terms of cognition, or what we call eudaimonia, well-being means anything about personal growth, self-actualization, about meaning, purpose in life. Whereas hedonia, the affective component, is about experiencing positive emotions and pleasure. I think in hospitality we have been very strong on hedonia for years, but do we integrate the mind or eudaimonia in hospitality experiences? If we do it correctly, if we do it well for our guests, they'll be more satisfied and loyal to us. If we do it well for our employees, we seem to be performing better financially on the stock exchange, as recent research shows. So the big question of today is, how do we do that? Thomas.
Yes, and the topic of our session is body and mind. And body means also well-being for your body. So the medical and health tourism is really a big part of this as well. And I would give you a quick overview what is medical and tourism really all about. So medical and health tourism is there for ancient times, since the old Romans, the Chinese, the Indians. People always traveled for medical and health reasons. So why are they traveling? They're traveling to get to get access to medical health treatments, getting probably cheaper or getting more exclusive, looking for specialists. So there's so many reasons why people travel for this. And the main drivers in medical health tourism are, for the medical side, is like dental treatments, eye surgery, orthopedics. What do we have? We have transplantation, cardiology, gender change, for example. There are so many reasons why people travel for medical reasons. And for health tourism, we have prevention, we have rehabilitation. When you think about you had an accident, you need to recover for a few weeks. So there are also many topics why people travel for this. And for medical health tourism, we need the entire tourism value chain. We have medical health tourism advisors, we need transportation, we need accommodation, we need logistics, we need entertainment for the family accompanying these people. So everything is important for this segment. But the hospitality industry is really key for this, we think, and hotels need to focus on this when they want to be part of this industry, absolutely. And and I think for the hotels could be interesting to have this for seasonal tourism. Could it be very interesting, or getting new target groups as well? Probably people you don't have in your hotels yet. So I think it's a very interesting topic we can discuss with our panelists today.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure to welcome our two very valuable panelists on stage. So first, I would like to welcome Tinola Rogers from African Monarch Lodges. Please come on stage. Thank you.
And we have Dr. Prem Jagjasi from India with us as well today.
Come, I made it. I would start with Tinola. So welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us. How do we integrate authentically well-being in hospitality experiences? And I will just pass the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So how we integrate mindfulness and well-being and health into our hospitality sector. So I'm in Africa, have small lodges in a beautiful national park. So what we have is a natural backdrop to wellness. Mm-hmm. We don't have spas, but sometimes you don't need a spa to reach and to connect a tourist, a guest that comes to your properties, because we have the ability to connect, and through connection we are able to transform lives. Because when we make that physical eye contact or connect through actually acknowledging a guest, because I think we all have that innate ability to want to be known, want to be seen, to be heard. And we train our staff and us as management and hosts of these guests, we can make someone feel valued while they're in your space. And then to create the experiences, the immersive experiences around that. So guests can just come and restore. Because everyone in the past, hospitality was about relaxation. Mm-hmm. Now hospitality has the ability to restore. And that is what we can do.
Dr.
Yes.
Prem.
Yes, what can you tell the audience when it comes to medical health tourism? How can you start as a hotel? You never did anything before, you never heard anything before, but you think could be a good target for you. How can they'll start with this?
Yeah, fabulous. Medical tourism is stand around $100 billion industry, and as a wellness, it's a $1 trillion industry. I suggest that it's a perfect time to integrate things, and probably because we are talking with the hospitality industry mainly, the hospitality industry can also try to integrate some of the medical facilities, medical tourism facilities, or the wellness segment, the resorts, they can also go for the medical combination. So it's a $110 billion in medical tourism and $1 trillion together. If we do it, we have better chances to provide the customized services in the industry. And the industry is growing significantly. If you look at the health tourism, people, if they are traveling in general, now they would like to travel for rejuvenation, for doing something more than just doing travel activities. So there was a survey where 42% people, they said that if they are traveling abroad for more than 7 days, if it is short trip, less than 7 days, then they probably might not to engage a lot into the health activities and medical activities. But if they are traveling to any destination for more than 7 days, 42% they said they would like to get engaged in. So it's a fabulous industry, I say.
Mm-hmm. And what do you need hotels focus on this when they want to? What are the key factors for them when they go into this?
For the medical tourism?
For the medical and health.
Okay, so at large, right now, every country is struggling with healthcare crisis. Even though if we talk about UK, Canada, they have fabulous healthcare, but the waiting time sometimes 3 to 6 month time. Europe has their own issues. US healthcare is very costly. So when the tourists are traveling from one destination to another destination, they are looking for the shortfall they have in their own healthcare system, and they would like to capitalize. So if they are traveling to Thailand or Indonesia or Asia, they would like to go ahead and do the medical packages, medical checkups done. If the Europeans are traveling, they are going for dental and aesthetic treatments and all. So trends are evolving where if the customer or guest traveling some destination, they would like to get the benefit of the medical tourism and wellness tourism together.
Mm-hmm.
This is about the body. So now a question about mind, because our session is about body and mind. So how can we integrate the mind in all this? And you said already, we don't necessarily need a spa.
So, you know, we have when guests come to us, tourists, travelers come to us, we have that ability to align body, mind, and soul. And we can do that through various programs that we may establish. It may be something very simple as you know, ensuring that at various guest touch points that we have through the journey of our guests, from arrival to departure, that at every single touch point, we create experiences where we can adapt our processes to align body, mind, and soul. So by creating environments that provide a very peaceful rest and sleep as one of them, by creating nutritional meals, sustainable meals that doesn't just come from an organic background or from, you know, that doesn't have a lot of carbon emissions and all of that, but to ensure that we create menus that actually restore our well-being from gut. I mean, I think we all know gut health is so important. So to ensure that we provide meals for our guests, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the high teas and the snacks at game drives and sundowners, that it's all healthy. Then we take it to, let's create areas where guests can detox from their digital devices. It is so, and this is where we create wellness retreats, yoga safaris, healing safaris, where we allow our guests to then pick whichever one they want so that they come through and they can just breathe again. We do forest bathing, where we take them into, take your shoes off. That's what we encourage our guests. Ground. The positive electron that you exchange with the earth when you just take your shoes off. This is where we then start teaching our guests to restore body, mind, and soul. And it's just by us thinking out of the box, creating these experiences, creating these little nuances. Instead of offering an espresso at night, offer them a chamomile tea and turn it into an experience. So they have their beautiful teapot, they can put their own chamomile flowers in, tell the story, and through telling stories, we heal this, because people look outside of themselves and connect with somebody else, and we touch souls in that way.
True. And what you say is really, this is already part of health tourism. This is prevention. Because when you take care of your body and your soul, you don't get all these diseases. We don't want to have this, yeah. And this is so important that you take care of everything with it's the food and what you eat every day. You have less alcohol, for example, and learn to listen to your body. This is really helping, especially when people getting older. This is really important, I think, and this is much more than only wellness. No, you have to listen to your body, and then we probably don't need to come to have medical tourism, probably. And this is a very good thing what many hotels can do, because when we go on vacation, when we have some time for ourselves, then we can think of ourselves, and we have to use this time more properly, probably what to do, not going to the beach and do some fun stuff. We also need this, because we all have a lot of stress in our daily life, but this is a very important part of the health tourism as well already.
Yeah, of course, exactly, because when we talk about medical tourism, we are talking about treating the conditions, but prevention, so the word wellness or well-being comes well before. If my body is functioning the way it's supposed to function, my eyes can see, my hands can move. If I go to doctor, and doctor will say, well, you're healthy. So being in a neutral status is a status of being healthy. But well-being is a step ahead, where we talk about the perfect harmony and balance of your mind, your body, and your consciousness, whether you call it soul or consciousness. And I completely agree that the hospitality industry can really work on these elements, where they do something for the physical wellness, so the body is taken care. Nutrition also comes into that. So physical wellness, nutrition, so the body is taken care of it. But giving them a beautiful environment so they can relax fully, stay around or sleep well. That's where the mind and the mindfulness practices. These are extremely important now for the hospitality industry, regardless whether you have big resort or a small hotel. The future trends are allowing your guests to get engaged into mind-body practices. Very important, because 72% of the guests now are evaluating not on based on how good your AC, how good is your bathroom, and how cleanness is there, but how do I feel at your property? How am I sleeping? Sleep has become a very important component in the entire experience, and that's where the mind comes. And what is there in that hospitality for me to rejuvenate myself? This has become very important in the health tourism perspective. And hospitality industry needs to get ready for all these activities, regardless of the size of your hotel or resort.
Yeah.
Just to elaborate on what you said, from the small to the big hotel, I often receive the question, is well-being only for luxury hotels?
Unfortunately, that's a perception. Unfortunately, many a time my resort friend thinks that wellness only or well-being only to be provided to increase the cost. Obviously, yes. If you have a hotel or resort, you will have, and if you are integrating wellness in your hotel or resort, you will see you will get more retention of the customer, which means if the guest was coming for 3 days, now he can stay for 7 days to 10 days. So your customer acquisition cost reduces, number one. And number two, let's say you are a beautiful resort in island. If you are non-wellness resort, just plain resort, people will come just once to you to experience it. But if you are a wellness resort, there is a more retention. The customer will keep on coming every year because we are talking about the rejuvenation. So obviously, this helps you to increase your revenue. It helps you to increase your profit. But to make this only as a luxury segment would be not a wise for us in a hospitality industry. And that's where there is a need that we do create multiple segment in the wellness industry, wellness hospitality industry, where luxury segment is there, but at the same time, affordable segment is there.
And I think you mentioned a very good point. I think it's this target group was looking for this is a very loyal target group, very loyal, because when you feel welcomed and when you feel at home and when you come to yourself, it's a place what you like, and I like to come back all the time. I know this is very like in former, like 100 years ago when we had these climate resorts here in Europe or the bath resorts in the Baltic Sea. People go there every year. They went to the same hotel and they for 3-4 weeks in summer times or whatever. And this was because people feeling very well there, they relax there, and they like these places to come back.
One more point I would like to add, and very surprisingly, once you start the well-being practices of mind and body in your hotel and resort, the complaints also goes down. 87% of well-being guests, they are not the one who are fast traveler. They are actually slow traveler. They enjoy slow travel and they appreciate the effort team is putting, employees are putting there, and they do lesser complaint. They do provide feedback to improve the quality, but not in a complaint manner or damaging your reputation. So this segment, if you have a hotel, if you try to create a mind and body, simple mindfulness practices, sleep practices, nutrition practices, you will see the complaint ratio goes so significantly down, improving your online reputation. Because it is important to know, if you have one negative feedback, you need 40 positive feedback to overcome that negative feedback.
Yeah, but this brings me to another important question to both of you. What are the successes when it comes to employees? Employees are also a key factor that people feel welcome. I think you will have some experiences in your resort. Maybe you can share some experience with this as well.
I think your team on the ground is probably the greatest asset that you can have. And if they embody the practice of wellness, and if they embody the fact that they are almost magicians for that guest. So when the guest walks in and they then host the guest, they serve them, they look after them, they care for them, they make them feel important. They have a happy guest. And what do they say? Happy guests? Or happy staff, happy guests. Exactly. And it goes the other way around. So, you know, we in a very remote part of Namibia, where the staff, the community is very sensitive. So when a guest smiles at them, oh my word, it lights them up. And this just, we've had staff that's been with us for many, many years, since the beginning, and they understand the value of guest care and making that guest feel important. So it is it's a duty as owner, as managers, to make sure that our staff are, one, healthy, and two, understand that making the guests happy and keeping them happy by purely doing what they need to do, but going that extra mile and creating what we call that wow moment, the goosebump moment. There's nothing better than having a guest go, oh my word, is this all for me? You've done this for me? It just lights them up. And that makes sure that your guests, your staff are happy, and that your guests are happy as well. So it's a very good point, and it's something that we all need to embrace in the hospitality industry, is to make sure that you keep your staff happy and that you keep them healthy. And that goes to feeding them the right food as well.
Exactly.
You know,
you're absolutely right. If you do not provide care and love to your team members, how do you expect them to pass on to your guest? It's just not possible. And 72% of the productivity and success ratio of customized services increases even if an organization implement twice a week, 1 hour or 2 hour wellness program for the team member. All you have to do is bring them together, do some wellness activity, treat them with respect, do some activity, not all the time bombarding them with the training and profitability, how to be very productive, but just take care of them. Let them know that they are the most important asset of organization. Your rooms are not the asset. Your buildings are not the asset. Your technology is not the asset. Your island is not the asset. The profit eventually will come from human interaction. How these staff communicate with the guest will play a significant role, no matter how good property you have. So in order for you to really get the best out of your team members, colleagues, you will have to provide them with the wellness program.
I was wondering, another question that I often receive, is there a specific demographic, a specific segment, we were talking about that is bringing, the demand for well-being, for mental, be it body? Is there a specific group of people, or is it coming from everyone?
well, I think the first retreat we hosted was an international. We had from India, we had Americans, we had Australians, we had British guests, we even had South Africans and Namibians. And so the age group also varies, men and women. We've had some male, in fact at every retreat we've had male participants. The last one we had just female, and there is definitely what we, because we've gone into a lot of research as to who we need to attract for our wellness retreats and yoga safaris and healing safaris. And we've discovered that the biggest demographic comes from women. There's a big movement with women-only travel, and being able to express yourselves and the healing and the trauma that you're experiencing during these retreats. I think women feel they're safer within that female space. But the demographic is, if I may, there's a retreat we are hosting next year in April where we're actually doing multi-generational, where we're bringing in and families, mom and dad and children and grandparents. So we encourage them to keep the kids busy with the Kids on Safari, Junior Ranger program. Moms do the healing safari or the healing journey retreat, and the daddies can go out fishing if they wanted to, or they can participate. But the idea behind this is that we then bring them together and we teach them how to communicate again. We teach them how to connect. We teach them how to listen to each other again as a family, because we have these beautiful resorts. And what happens at the dinner table, everyone is on their tablet. Everyone is just disconnected from mom and dad and their brother and sister. So we want to create a retreat where we bring an entire family together and we teach them once again how to look beyond the screen and see each other and speak to each other. So it may be a small demographic, but we have the ability as hotels and the hospitality industry to make it larger and bring everyone in for this restorative travel.
Yeah. That's great, because research shows that fostering social connections actually enhances well-being for everyone.
Yeah. So just to continue the discussion of demographic and geographic, I have been fortunate to travel to 75 countries and work over 500 resorts, be it wellness resorts or resorts, reviewing them, experiencing them. All the geographies are now ready to travel for mind, body, or well-being. The demography, we segment in, let's say, younger generation, couples, and the mature generation. Mature people, probably 40 to 60 years, they are probably more than 50% of the total wellness tourism. They have spending capacity, and they are at the stage of life where they are willing to stay 10 days, 15 days in a calm place. You can't expect a young person to spend 15 days in the hotel right now when you are having such a fast life. So what we break it down further in demographic, we bring adventure wellness for the younger generation. So we do lots of, you do hiking, cycling, activities, and then bring them back and do the mindfulness practices. So keep them engaged with some adventure, but teach them the benefit of well-being. This becomes for younger. Then the couples bring the element of romance, couple massages, couple therapies and all, which is so fabulous, and the revenue generating ideas. And then for the mature audience, they require more mindfulness. They are not really requiring running around, and promote slow tourism. Being slow, intentionally slow, I'm not saying you in general slow, but being intentionally slow is such a wonderful thing. Try to practice it. When you're taking a decision, don't take a decision in a speed. Slow down yourself and you see the quality of decision you are making. So these are the factors.
So before we have our last statements, I want to check with the floor if you have any questions here. So we have a microphone. If there's any question, I don't. There we have the microphone. Yes, we have a question here. Caroline? Yeah. There.
How is the marketing strategy in order to capture the people in body, mind, and this one? Your marketing strategy for...
So may I answer? Yeah. Your marketing strategy has to be very closely aligned based on what you're offering, right? Number one, what you're offering, what kind of facility you have, what kind of services you have. Do not overpromise, do not overcommit. Look at what you're offering and accordingly find the target market. If you are able to find the target market, that what is looking for it, then you can customize and personalize marketing. Now is the time, because the information is so overwhelmingly available and there is so much noise about everything. Now everyone wanted to be treated as an individual, even in the marketing. So the time is personalized marketing, identify target market, and create personalized marketing. And I would be very happy to answer these kind of questions after the session as well. Yeah. The lady also has a question.
One more question here.
Tinula, you mentioned that you did a market research and you analyzed your target group. How did you do that? How can you, in this remote place, find out what is your market you want to really deal with?
So I had to invest in a company that actually did this research for us. And you know, they go and analyze exactly what the market is ready for, and there's definitely a readiness for wellness travel, for restorative and regenerative travel. That's the one. So now you know there's a demand. The next part of the research is, are you ready for this? Are you able to deliver on this? And that was through them actually coming out. One is a secretive guest, to make sure that you are on board before we even knew that the real team came out to the property. And they understood very clearly that our staff already live and breathe this wellness ability and creating these experiences that can allow people to heal while within our properties. And the second is to actually speak to all of us and discover truly whether we understand the essence of what this is. So there's an alignment that comes in with research and what we're already delivering. And that is why I agree with you. Authenticity is so important. We have to be authentic. You cannot promote something that you're not able to deliver, because you're actually playing with someone's life.
Exactly.
If you don't.
Fabulous words, actually.
Thank you.
And I think that's a great end to this session. So thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you very
thank
much
you so
to
much.
you too. And we wish you to be well. Thank you.
Thank you.